Now, is this something that I personally believe the Yankees should do? Now, some of you are going to hate me for this. I hope I don't lose any subscribers. Now, hear me out when I say this. What's up, guys? This is David from Bronx Banter, and I have another awesome topic, awesome video for you. Could Juan Soto be traded to the Yankees? Now, I know we've been saying this for like the last 2 years already, and he ended up going to the Padres in the following season. The Padres never traded him. Here we are, Juan Soto, one more year left before he hit free agency to sign a contract. It's going to be a huge contract, by the way. The reason why a lot of people may want to think that, I don't know why we're talking about Juan Soto being traded again. Obviously, he's not going to be. Now, there's obviously a few reasons why this may be the case. One, the Padres clearly way underperformed. I mean, who are we to say? We are the Yankees and we underperformed. But the Padres way underperformed, like by a lot. Now, they got hot a little bit towards the end of the season, as I guess did the Yankees. A lot of similarities, honestly, with the Padres and the Yankees this year. But they underperformed a lot. And with Juan Soto becoming a free agent next year, it's a question on whether or not the Padres will be able to capitalize on their one year left with Juan Soto, win a World Series. Because we all know whoever has traded with Juan Soto, which was the Padres, or whoever will trade for Juan Soto, is trading with the intent to win a World Series. But with all this being said, on top of that, the Padres confirmed that by 2024, so by the end of this offseason, they want to cut $50 million. So basically from $248 million on their payroll down to $200 million. And this perked up a lot of people's ears. A lot of people are thinking, oh my gosh, Juan Soto's going to get traded. He has one more year left. They're probably not going to make it to the World Series or win the World Series again. They're going to sell. They're going to sell. Let's hold up a little bit. Let's analyze this a little bit more, because I didn't want to just jump the gun. I wanted to know, okay, what does it mean to drop to $200 million? Now, it is $50 million, which is a lot, and Juan Soto makes 23. He's expected to make almost 30 by this arbitration coming up. Right now, the Padres have $80 million coming off the books from free agency this offseason. So automatically, they're dropping down below the 200 mil mark that they want to be at, which is awesome. They drop down to, it looks like, to have $30 million to spare in the offseason. Now, as expected, with Juan Soto going to arbitration, he's going to go from 23 most likely to 30. So that's $7 million right there. So you have about $23 million left if they stick with Juan Soto. Now, who are these guys that are coming off the books for a total of $80 million? You have Josh Hader, Blake Snell, and Michael Wacha. Now, obviously, Michael Wacha is not as notable, though he's been a solid pitcher for a large part of his career. Not too sure how he's been doing with the Padres, but he's coming off the books. So that's a starting pitcher, which any starting pitcher in your starting rotation that is a free agent is not something just to take lightly too often. And then you got Blake Snell, going to be an NL Cy Young winner, and has been probably along with Juan Soto, the lone bright spot in this Padres season. And he's making 10 mil, but combined Hader and Snell, their projected market value AAV heading into this offseason, Hader's 17.5 million. And then you have Blake Snell at 23.5, which personally I think 23.5 is very little. I think he's going to make more annually, but that's 23. Let's say he makes 23.5 in his free agent signing a year for his AAV. That's 23.5 plus 17.5. That's quick maths, 41 million. Right there, you blow over your budget for the Padres to be under 200 mil. You got to give 40 mil at least to both Hader and Snell a year. And quite honestly, the Padres would be foolish to let Snell walk. Quite honestly, be really foolish to let Snell walk. Because if they want to contend, and they really think they could contend with a starting rotation that has Joe Musgrove, which is amazing. He's an amazing pitcher, but he's shown signs of injury. Then you have Yu Darvish that's aging and is injured and is stuck with the Padres for a long time, 6 more years, till his age 41 season, I believe. Then you got Michael Wacha that's also walking. That's all of the $30 million that the Padres have budgeted, with guys coming off the books, trying to sit in the 200 mil range. That's all of it. And then what? You're not going to get Hader? To let the best closer in baseball walk would be crazy, especially if you're, again, a team trying to contend. And now, with all of this information in mind, I'm going to put myself in the Padres' shoes. Who would I want? If I were to trade Soto, who do I want? Now, looking at the roster, just a brief overview. Again, I'm not a certified Padres fan, so if any Padres fans are listening, you could correct me. I'll allow it, I guess. No, but you could correct me. It's totally fine. But I'm looking at this roster. I would want a starting pitcher to make up for Michael Wacha walking. Michael Wacha walking. That's crazy. Michael Wacha walking. More pitching depth, most likely, whether that's also bullpen pieces or even starting pitching pieces. And then I'll also want outfield prospects or MLB ready outfield, because you also have Jurickson Profar that's going to be a free agent, which he's not incredible. He wasn't incredible this year, but with Juan Soto leaving, you're going to want an MLB ready outfielder, and you also would want probably a prospect. This all scream, and then of course some free agent capital. This all screams something that the Yankees can provide. Now, I know some of you may not want to let go of him, but you got Spencer Jones, which is going to be a superstar, I believe. You got Trey Sweeney, which of course is more of an middle infield guy that they honestly are fine with. They don't need that help, but you got him if you want to sweeten the deal. You got Drew Thorpe as a starting pitcher, which has been lights out, and I think he's going to be an incredible top prospect. May not be MLB ready next year, but maybe the following year, maybe midway this year or midway next year. You got Clark Schmidt, which is MLB ready and has shown really that 4th, 5th starting rotation caliber starting pitcher that will give you 5 innings, 2 earned runs on a consistent basis. Just screams a little bit of consistency for me. And he's very, very affordable. And then you got outfield pieces like Everson Pereira. He's not tearing the cover off the ball, but you could also give Oswald Cabrera. That could be great platoon piece. He's even played first base, which is crazy to think. And then, of course, other guys I haven't mentioned. I didn't mention Peraza just because I think the Yankees should keep him. And also, I don't think they really need Peraza. So you got all these guys that you could trade away and then some. And these are all kind of, and then you got bullpen pieces like crazy that the Yankees have. So the Yankees, I believe, I don't know what the Padres admittedly need or want, but it looks like from what I believe the Padres should get in return, the Yankees have. And this is not me being biased. I'm just trying to be real. Now, this looks like a trade that could be a match made in heaven. Now, is this something that I personally believe the Yankees should do? Now, some of you are going to hate me for this. I hope I don't lose any subscribers. Now, hear me out when I say this. No, I don't believe the Yankees should go for Juan Soto this offseason. Now, here's the crazy thing. Probably before I recorded this video, I was all on board for Juan Soto. But the reason why I don't believe we should go for Juan Soto is really one big reason, 2 reasons. As of right now, with how the Yankees team is, if we were just to get Juan Soto, that is not going to make us a World Series contending team. We're going to need to make other moves. Now, if you make those other moves, would I want to make the trade? Maybe. But you got to think of the $30 million you got to take on, which is not that big of a deal. But you also got to think of who you're going to let go in return. And is that worth it? Now, a lot of people are saying don't prospect hug. And I'm not saying prospect hug, but I'm saying, what if you just waited out this year? See if you could, obviously, you're going to make other moves this offseason. You're not going to just not make any moves, but wait it out this year, make other moves this season, and see if you could win a World Series without Juan Soto. Now, if you can't, or even if you can, run it back again and then get Juan Soto in free agency. Then you could trade your prospect for anything else you may need instead of just blowing it all away on a guy for 1 year. And here's the thing, you're going to get him for 1 year. And again, in a year that I'm not confident that we're going to win the World Series. I would only do this and let go of these prospects if I know for a fact we're going to win a World Series. And that's just me. I'm not saying prospect hug, but I would say I would rather trade off those prospects, those MLB ready players, for something else more valuable than to blow it on a guy for 1 year that may not want to re-sign. He will test free agency. It just doesn't personally make sense, at least as of right now. Now, again, the disclaimer is if we make incredible moves this offseason, then let's go for Juan Soto. Look, like Juan Soto has been incredible. His stats are amazing. But again, I'd rather wait for Juan Soto to be a free agent and keep our prospects and just try to sign him. And again, maybe if we were sniffing a World Series this year, maybe even if we ended the year the same way we ended last year, getting swept by a team or the Astros in the ALCS, I would say let's get Soto because that could really have helped us. But I would rather just sign him. This gives you 1 or 2 years to try to offload Stanton if we notice that he's not an option. It also allows us to fall back on prospects if needed. And quite honestly, I also say this because there's other solid options in this offseason. Now, I'm going to save how I feel about those options in other videos, so make sure you subscribe. But you got guys like Kevin Kiermaier that's been floating around, Cody Bellinger, and we're waiting on the Martian to get back. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be our savior to win the World Series, but there's other options. There's also a guy, I believe, in the Korean League can make a huge splash for us. He's like a Masataka Yoshida kind of player, more average based, which you see what he's doing for the Red Sox. He's been amazing. Rookie of the Year candidate. I think he's going to be amazing if it wasn't for Gunnar Henderson going crazy. But nonetheless, I don't believe we should go for Juan Soto. Let me know what you guys think. If you think I'm insane, if you think I'm crazy, but you got to also hear me out and understand where I'm coming from. Imagine giving up all those guys to just for a guy 1 year that we then won't win the World Series, or maybe not sure if I think we'll make the postseason if we get him, but I don't know if we'll win the World Series. And then we lose all those prospects, all of that future, which we're trying to tap into the young guys. And Juan Soto is young. Like, that's another thing. I want to sign Juan Soto. I 100% want to sign Juan Soto. He's exactly in the same age bracket in between Judge and Cole, along with like Volpe and Dominguez, like right in the middle, sitting with Torres. Like, that's the perfect age group. Like, we have to get him, quite honestly. So sign him, though. Don't trade for him. Again, my only disclaimer is if we get some incredible pieces to supplement him and supplement the overall roster, and we make some drastic, and I mean drastic changes this offseason, then I'll be down to trade for him. Because quite honestly, imagine us trading for him, wasting all those prospects, not winning a World Series, and then he goes on free agent market and signs with another team. You know, like, that would just straight up suck. And you know, oh my God, like, I can't just imagine how us Yankee fans would react. So again, I rest my case because I know you're going to go and test free agency. You should test free agency, but I do think he will play well in New York. I do know he does play well in the spotlight. You see him. He doesn't crack under pressure. He's shown he's fought adversity. He's bounced back from slumps very well. He's having a very underrated season this year. Juan Soto should be a Yankee, not via trade though, via free agency. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hey, what is up, guys? If you liked this episode, please make sure to like it, comment down below, and subscribe. And watch what YouTube suggests would be a great video for you. You're not going to want to miss all the latest Yankees news and topics going on. Listen, Judge wants you to subscribe. The Martian wants you to subscribe, so make sure you do. And until next time, peace and be blessed.